technology, you'd mentioned that, and how that's changed. How do you think technology is impacting your field and society maybe in general, from a sociologist's point of view?
Well, again, I'm not as versed in the literature from the technological side, but I think, from a sociological perspective, I will say I don't think it's a negative thing in general, right? I don't think that technology, we should be worried or we should try to dial it back. And so I teach a course in social change, and the thing that I tell my students is that the one constant is that society is constantly changing. I mean, we're constant, and this is just another way that we're changing. So our patterns of interaction are changing. Like FaceTime and And I know we've talked negatively about technology, but there is a way. I mean, that access to information is great. I use it. We all use it. It's just so much more accessible. It makes it more equitable. Knowledge is becoming more equitable as long as people have access to the internet. Where people, I think, are falling short, where there's a growing gap, is to be able to think critically about that knowledge that we have in our hand, that we're reading and being exposed to. We could probably improve.
What do you mean by think critically about it?
As you mentioned, when you read something and somebody was like, well, where did you get that? How do you know that? Are you going to explore that a little farther? I think when people get that factoid that comes on, especially if it feels good, especially if we like it, are we going to look deeper, into the source? Yeah. If something doesn't quite sound right, are we going to explore that a little more? So I think that's maybe a crucial piece that we're missing. And again, as long as it's accessible. And that's interesting too, because it's, if you think about certain, producers of music or art or literature, they're able to get their stuff out there where they may not have had the resources, and so all that is great. Yeah. All that is great. There's also some really terrible ideas. I mean, we have a whole. Frankly, the QAnon movement that comes from this 8chan, 4chan disgruntled people on the internet, and now there's a whole, and it's not just crazies talking to crazies, that there's actually some stuff that happens that's not good for our country as a result.